The end is nigh. I hope you guys have prepared and kissed your loved ones. NASA is tracking a vast anomaly growing in Earth's magnetic field. Y'all notice that there was an aurora that reached down to central Texas and Florida recently? A little odd. Indeed it is. I talked with Ben Davidson and fact-checked this, but yes, in the last 100 years, there have been 10 Northern Lights phenomenon in the lower 48 reaching down this far into the United States. 5 of them happened in the last 2 years. Ben Davidson argues that the Earth's magnetic field is weakening, and so solar storms as well as standard solar activity is more likely to penetrate to the surface, causing power outages and radio problems, static interference, etc. And then we get this story. This one's actually kind of freaky. They say since 2014, there is a gigantic dent in the magnetosphere that has grown to the size of, I think it says Europe, and getting bigger. So the question I have here with this story, and they say, don't worry, it won't affect life on Earth. We've seen, again, with these auroras, there are theories that are called kooky, that the poles may shift, and this will cause a catastrophe on Earth, a cataclysm. At the same time, I wonder if there is a connection to the fact that billionaires are building mountain bunkers in New Zealand, underground in Hawaii, in Montana and Wyoming. Why are powerful people building underground mountain bunkers? Now, it could just be that if you got the money, why not, right? If you're sitting on billions of dollars, Elon's probably like, sure, I guess. What else are you doing with it, right? However, we know that cash, that net worth isn't liquid. This would mean these billionaires are liquidating assets into cash to fund underground bunkers for themselves. What is leading them to believe they need these things? World War III? Is that reasonable? Is there something they know about the gigantic Europe-sized dent in the magnetic field?
Zohran Mamdani.
That's true, too. That's true, too.
You know.
Or are we facing the end of days?
I mean, look, if you have means to do that, I think that that's something that's been popular for Americans for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Ever since the dawn of the atomic age, people have been building some kind of underground bunker if they can. They're like, oh, what if the big one comes and they're gonna drop nuclear bombs and blah blah blah. I think that that's something that people that have money, I don't see the downside of it, right?
I just want to point out
that you're sitting on. Why not?
This story from Independent is from September of this year. Why tech billionaires are suddenly hoarding doomsday mega bunkers. Don't take the stripper poles out. Okay. The event is coming. The event.
They named it already.
Indeed.
Well, the event is a vague term because everybody that builds these bunkers. Well, I honestly think that it's a vague term because everybody that builds these bunkers, they have a different concept of why they're building them. It's like, well, it could be a pandemic that I have to get, a pandemic that's worse than COVID, or it could be a nuclear war, or it could be the pole shift, or what have you. And it doesn't really matter. I mean,
maybe it's civil war.
Yeah, it could be.
Are you RSVP'd for the event?
Part of the reason why I bought my place in New Hampshire is because it's 50 acres and it's tucked away in the woods. My house isn't on the road. You can't accidentally show up on my front yard. It's hidden away, and I bought it because should something bad happen, I've got a place to go. And when COVID hit, when I was up on the hill in New Hampshire, my life didn't change at all.
Yeah.
It was the same from one day to the next. So
okay, this is pretty epic. Look at this picture. This is another angle of the Atlas. What they do is they dig this whole thing out, place it. Look at this. And then they bury it. And you get to live in there forever with no sun.
I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of jealous they got such a sweet bug out spot, though. Like that is pretty
cool. In
cool.
fact, maybe it's just would be nice to have this as a house.
No.
Yeah, what do you mean?
No, I don't want
Nobody knows where you are?
I live in the storage container.
You have that. It's not your house.
Underground.
Yeah.
That's just your basement. You build the house on top of it.
Oh, they do. Look,
you bug out
take a look at this.
There you go.
It actually. Oh wait, yeah. They build on top of it, and it connects down into the underground bunker.
Super.
Look at this though. Come on, you gotta just
the
look
armory.
At that.
Yeah, that's
look
sick.
at that. No, the whole bunker is just literally an armory.
That's awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it's sick, and if you have access to that kind of money, why not? What's the downside?
Like, what are you gonna do?
The event is coming.
it?
Well, no, but this is the point I was making. The left argues like billionaires have all this money. No, they don't. It's not liquid. They don't have this money. Bezos gets paid $83,000 salary, and then he gets, I think, like $1 million in benefits. When he wants to spend cash, he takes loans out. This means that it's not so much. And I'm not saying it's impossible or very difficult, but they're doing more than just, I got the cash lying around. No, they're taking action and liquidating assets to be able to have the cash to build these deep underground bunkers or whatever. And this one is not even an example of a particularly expensive one. Like, I'm talking, bro, they got like, there's stories of planes landing inside of mountains.
No way.
You can
James
do it.
Bond-esque.
Yeah, you can do it super cheap. The Hasidics in Brooklyn did it, and they got in a bunch of trouble for it. But that's an economical option. You just dig under.
There was an underground network for a while in COVID, huh?
Yeah, and they got in trouble for it. I was like, hey, they're just prepping. Like, what's wrong? What are these?
It is
guys
kind of
doing?
based, yeah. Give them credit for it.
Yeah, sure.
European mountain bunkers. Yeah, crazy. Military is building them in Europe. The European military.
Like I said, I if you have
Switzerland.
if you have a bunker
Switzerland?
like that,
Makes sense.
Switzerland. Yeah, like all the,
You get to
yeah.
stock it with your
Country's
armory.
like one big bug out shelter.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love guns.
Cheese.
Too.
you, I mean, if you have something like that, whether it be a bunker for for the event or just a panic room, right? Someone breaks into your house, you shove your family downstairs and lock the door, wait for the police to show up. You know,
Now, what about this? Do you guys think this is true? The U.S. spent $21 trillion to build secret underground doomsday bunkers for elites. This was on Tucker's show back in May, and we talked about it. The DUMBs, they're called, the deep underground military bases. I'm just saying, man, when we see an Aurora in Texas several times in the past couple of years, you might be like, is that normal? And the truth is, we live shorter lives than the Earth, is old or whatever. So maybe these things happen. Auroras happen. It's just not that often. So maybe we're overreacting. But these people may be overreacting substantially more than we are if they're spending $21 trillion. Now, maybe this lady right here is just crazy.
No, it's legit. I mean, you have the Aurora Borealis like all over like the South. I mean, you have these wildfires everywhere, these earthquakes. I had a white DoorDash driver the other day.
Whoa.
Like things are getting like crazy.
This is, that reminds me of that 30 Rock episode. Do you guys see this one where it was about Occupy Wall Street? And Jack Donaghy, played by everyone's favorite Alec Baldwin, gets mugged by a white guy in a button-up shirt.
It's over.
And he's like, we're done.
It's done.
Buy it.
It's
We're at the
over.
bottom. Sell everything.
He was like, you don't understand, Lemon. He was wearing a button-up shirt.
Now, that means you're at the bottom. So that's when you buy. If that ever happens to you, buy everything.
It's
Not
funny
financial
how that
advice.
show was like pretty offensive, but nobody cared because back then, and it was funny. And then within like 4 years of actually, while the show was still on the air, everybody got super woke.
It's just like adjusted as it went on.
Yeah, I mean they did a bunch of racist humor and everyone laughed.
Yeah.
It's like The Office. The Office could never air today.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Well, maybe today it
gotta
could.
be able to laugh.
Maybe today it could.
It'd be like
I mean,
today.
we've
We're breaking it open a bit. Yeah.
bro, have you been on Instagram lately?
oh my god,
Dude,
So good.
holy.
Oh.
All I can say is, holy, what, dude? I open up Instagram and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, they like your average Instagram feed like outflanks 4chan now. Like it's
Bro, I saw one video. I opened up my Instagram and it was an Android George Floyd buying KFC. And I was just like, this is crazy.
Do you not get Charlie Kirk?
Oh, yeah.
Cyborg 2 yet? Yeah, I get them together.
They're doing
I'm getting
Yeah.
high school pages. They'll make it like an Agartha high school page and judge if their teachers would make it in or not. And it's like the school assemblies right now are probably insane. They're probably doing like executions at these schools. Like it's insane what these kids are posting about their teachers.
Yeah, the algorithm's
And
crazy.
you know what happened was, like, every time I bring up that Instagram keeps recommending these weird racist humor AI videos to me, people go like, you realize the algorithm is based on what you click on. I'm like, yeah, I click on them all the time. Like, I watch every single one. Dude.
they're hilarious.
I like them. I comment.
There was one I saw where it was the Olympics, and it was it was like a 100-meter dash through showers, and it's like white people run through, and then like Asians run through, and then a bunch of Indians stop and get stuck in front of it, and they're like panicking. And I was like, what the? It had like 100,000 likes. There was another one where it was at the Olympics, and there was a ladder with a pole going up to a fake roof with a smoke detector, and there were two black women changing the smoke detector, and it was like first place in 27 seconds. And I'm just like, I can't believe Instagram is loaded with these videos.
Oh, yeah.
There was one where it was who's the guy who got stabbed in the chest by the stingray?
Steve
Steve
Irwin.
Irwin. It's Steve Irwin being like, we're looking for the rare African ceiling bird. And he goes into a black woman's house and the smoke detector's going beep, beep. I'm like, dude, how is Instagram allowing these videos? It's just the floodgates are done.
It's a containment breach, yeah.
I actually think this is a phenomenon that is why we're seeing this quote unquote rift on the right. Because let me put it this way. We'll give this one its own airtime. So we got these videos popping up across Instagram that people would describe as like racist AI videos or racist humor or whatever. I think this shows the fact that these videos are allowed, that the left is so desperately beaten, not gone forever, that there's no unified enemy culturally that the right is concerned about. Movies are dropping their these film studios, like Disney got rid of their DEI department or whatever.
Yep.
Bud Light is cooked. Target, all of this stuff worked, and now you're allowed to, like, we can say retard again. You know what I mean? Like, you're allowed to say these things, and I think now we had this period where the left was so entrenched institutionally. What with like you couldn't even say you supported Trump.
Yeah.
If you, like Vivek Ramaswamy's story, if you didn't put a black square in your Instagram profile, they came for you. That's how insane it was. That resulted in people like me and staunch conservatives sitting down together and being like, hey, we got a problem. This also resulted in people who are pro-Israel and anti-Israel sitting down and saying, hey, look at that problem. But what happens when that problem is gone? These same people are at the table and they go, woo, now that we've solved that problem, let's get to the next most serious problem. That is, we should stop funding Israel. And the other guy goes, whoa, hold on. What do you mean? I was never on board with that. I'm for funding Israel. And now you're seeing these rifts emerge on the right because there's nothing else to be like for these individual ideological factions. What is left to defeat but their next most pressing passion? And so you're seeing the libertarians, largely I think the right is fracturing on interventionist and anti-interventionist, neoconservative versus new right, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really a test to how unifying Charlie Kirk was, because he kept everyone focused. He was saying, okay, yes, we won. We had a good victory in the election, but we're not at the point yet where we can start like hashing these things out and relitigating some of these issues. We still have a lot of work to do. And he kind of was that unifying. And for a lot of other people in the media space, he was kind of a tastemaker, these sorts of things. Once he was gone, a lot of people just lost focus right away. And they forget that's like, hey, Trump still has 3 years. He has a lot of work to do. It's going to take time to do a lot of these things. And people instead just went for engagement. It went every which way. Regardless, people lost focus right away. I think that's the primary issue is.
I mean, some of it's just that like we have an incredibly unique political coalition that has elected Donald Trump, right? And it's unlike anything I think we've seen in the past couple decades. I think the last time you saw a true like middle America recognition or like class that was represented was when Pat Buchanan was really running, right, in the 90s. And I think that draws in different debates. And I think, when people heard America First in 2015, when Donald Trump was running, they thought it meant America first, right? And I think, Cota Villa was known for always saying that the primary concern of the statesman should be his own nation, right? Especially in times of revolution, right? Like international affairs should be subordinate to the domestic affairs.
But I think what you're saying about this coalition was true. I just saw a clip where Anna Kasparian said she's been watching Candace Owens. And I'm kind of like, yeah, did you see that clip? That's like,
I don't know who she is. Who is Anna?
The Young Turks.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's like, something's happening here politically, and I'm wondering if there's like a reorientation now. I mean, with obviously the Heritage Foundation and the Tucker thing, and then the Tucker Candace turning point, like there is a rift that is very obvious to everybody. These debates are happening. People are attacking Tucker for interviewing Nick. And the reason why I defend Tucker on this one is crazy because we've interviewed communists who have come on and advocated for Stalin-esque or like Maoist
They'll straight up call themselves revolutionaries, and revolutions are not peaceful. They're not talking about peaceful change in government.
Right. The point is, there's no outrage when I debate a Maoist, but they lose their mind when Nick goes on an interview with Tucker Carlson. And it's just like, Tucker can talk with whoever he wants and he can agree with whatever he wants. Like, what is this policing, this ideological policing that is now occurring? And I think we're seeing, it's what I described. Now that the shared enemy is routed, Democrats aren't gone forever. They're going further left. The question now is, who are we going to allow in our movement? Yeah. And that means you're going to see certain factions be like, we don't want you here. because, I think it's fair to say people have different moral worldviews. You're not wrong to believe in your moral worldview, and you don't want to share space with someone of an opposing moral worldview. And now that the greater villain is defeated largely, they're now going to say, why am I sharing space with this person I disagree with?
And it feels like with the Tucker rift that was a day or two ago where Trump said he can have whoever he wants. It's his show. Like I don't. It's whatever. I think that kind of settled that debate pretty much entirely.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.